everyone. And no, it's not the final remarks, but hey, welcome to Garrison House. I'm Darnell.
I'm Angela.
And we are here.
Yes.
We like to welcome our new audience.
Yes.
RTN Network.
Yes, Raymond Television Network. Welcome to Garrison House.
Yes,
we welcome you.
Thank you, Bishop Lloyd, for putting us on.
Yes, we appreciate all of you.
Yeah, for those who don't know, this is our third year in on this. We've been at this for 3 years, actually 3 years and 2 months.
Yes.
And it's a lot of great things coming. And those who are new, she does this every once in a while. We don't know why it happens, but
I was all fine until
it came on.
And I started yawning.
It happens. But anyway, we're real,
starting talking.
We are happy. We're humbled to be on there.
Yes, thank you. And please support us. Please support
us. And support all the people who are carrying us, because we are growing more this year. So the networks and channels, if they offer merch stuff or support them also, you can send us a little tip. So you hit us up at GarrisonHousePodcast.com and scroll down to our tip jar, and you can leave us a tip there. And tips are always good. We like tips. So you can leave us a tip, but we have some great news near the end. So stick around. A lot has been going on in the world. But stick around. We got some great things, but we also still want you to support us on our social platforms. Facebook, support us on our other streaming platforms. We're also on streaming. We're also on demand with RTN, so you can get their app. We're also on Kashmir TV. We're on BTV. So it's great expansion. We're on Cloud Live. It's a lot going on with us, and I'm really happy to see the growth in 2026. I was listening to some YouTubers today, and they were talking about strange themes. People say, "Oh, it's fixed in 26." It's like, no, we're not going to do these strange topics, but that happens a lot. People create themes for the year. Some people have personal themes. We don't have a personal theme this year. It's just like, let's get it going. But anyway, let's go into our favorite part here, getting your health together. Oh my God.
Beginning of the year. Everybody makes those saying that they want to try to lose weight for 2020. Since y'all been trying to lose weight since 2020.
I've been trying to lose weight since 1999.
try to lose weight, but however, you know what? We may have started, but keep on pressing. Keep going. Keep on going. And you have to set your mind to want to do it. I know I always say I'm going to start exercising every day like I'm supposed to. Because I'm trying to drop another plus pounds, but and sometimes I think about it as all good intentions in our minds, but we still have to get up and start it. So losing weight is so if you want to lose weight, this is an option for you. Sometimes you need somebody to help coach you along, and this is AM Fit, AM Total Being Fit.
AM Total Being Fitness.
They can help you achieve that goal. They do scanning. They do body scanning. They tell you where you are, what your weight, what you need to be working on, what you have to work on. So that's one of the options right there.
And I was just scanned. I had my DEXA scan done on right before the new year. And before I did my doctor said, "Hey, your weight's going good job." And he has a benchmark he wants for. He said, "But you didn't lose any weight." I said, "Yeah." So I talked to him. So and they said before I even had my scan, it's probably because you gained muscle. I gained 15 pounds of muscle. I'm burning. I should have brought the form of 2,400 calories. So I am doing really well since I began the program. Before I need to look at the first one, I was pretty bad. We're still trying to get some other readings. I'm a big guy, so the machine doesn't pick up some of the readings. It keeps saying NA, but they said I'm doing better. I've improved a lot since I've been in the program.
One of the things about health and weight loss, you got to realize it's going to cost.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we did have a gym membership, I'm trying to cancel that one too, but because it's only $10 a month going there, but it gets boring. So you need a little bit more. So sometimes you have to pay a little bit extra in order to get a little bit more active in your weight loss journey. Right. One of the things that I've been on the GLP diet, somewhat. And It wasn't the one for weight loss. I've been on it for another for type 2 diabetes. I have dropped almost 70 pounds right now, and I still got to wait. I've still got a few more pounds I want to lose before the end of the year. That's what my doctor wants because she wants my BMI at a certain level. And so if you have to, it's okay to be on medications to try to lose weight. His is totally with no medication. Him is just totally working out and eating right. Well, somewhat we try to eat all right. Every once in a while we kind of slendered in there, but however, that's kind of what he did. Me, I am on the GLP diet. So if you want to, it's okay. Now that a lot of Costco, I believe, and I have no promotions, no nothing with GLPs or with anybody, but I think they're offering now for without insurance, $150 a month. Some insurances don't pay for it no more. Some insurances are not paying for it. And so if you need to be on it, I recommend the GLPs because it's actually really works in losing weight. It'll shed some pounds off of you. If you just needed 20, if you just needed 30, it will shed it just like that. So I do recommend it if you don't want to go with the option of having a trainer. But he has a trainer. The trainer helps him out. Sometimes, again, you need that little push to get you going. If you have to get up and go to somewhere and somebody's pushing you, you want to do better. So that's kind of how weight loss works. I hope you're doing your journey. Let us know. Contact. Leave a message on our pages.
Yeah, and let us Facebook, leave a message
and let us know about your weight loss journey and what are you doing for it.
Yeah, so just give them a call, 248-480-0131. Tell them you saw us on Garrison House, anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. Just give them a call and see what they can do for you. They do have an app that will help you out. It's a really good program. Like I said, I've lost about 80 pounds, was it? Oh, I lost 70. We both lost about the same amount. I went from morbidly obese to just obese. But hey,
his journey was actually tremendous. From hurting himself over 5 years ago. This was
6 years. It's 6 years ago.
In January, because it happened in January, wasn't it?
February 13th, 1999.
Yeah. So his journey was.
I couldn't stand up.
Yeah.
It was so bad. When we first moved up here to the studio, we had the other table we used, and getting out the chair was like. It was trying to get out, but it didn't get out. My desk chair was a mess. Now I'm pretty much, everybody's like, wow, you just got out the chair. Yeah, I know. But I'm gaining that muscle, and they're still building muscle.
You better be getting out chairs easily.
But they're still working on certain muscle groups. So a lot of us say, well, we want to build up fast. We want to get up quick. However, it's a process. You can't just build up one part of your body without building up the other part. So I'm learning. And also, it's a spiritual component there. It's a very strong spiritual component going there. And, it's a really great getting your mind, body, and spirit in order.
Yes. And again, cardio makes you lose weight. Weights makes you gain muscle. So that's kind of how it works. You have to at least start with cardio. Get your heart rate going, cardio. And then like walking, moving around. And then if you want to build muscle, then you use those weights and things like that.
Yeah, the key thing, and then we're going to move to our next topic is, this here little watch is one of the things they wanted me to get. I used to wear watches, but they had me get a watch to monitor my activity, heart rate, and all that good stuff. But it is working. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And but anyway, let's get into this. We have a political firestorm. Venezuela, President Trump went and removed the president who was there, who did not want to get out of office.
So it's my understanding that Maduro was the previous president. He got beat by another one, but he did not want to leave. Is that how it was going, honey?
Yes. I'm pulling it up now because it is.
So he pulled people who were saying about Trump being overthrowing the election. He actually did. He actually did not want to leave the office. And what can you do? Because if you don't have the power, you may have gotten the vote to get in, But if you don't have the power, and he has all the power backing behind him, hey, the guys is probably sitting back and waiting, trying to get into the office.
And it looks like I'm still following news, so we'll
it's right. It's breaking. It's ongoing.
Dig into this deeper. That's why we want to spend much time on it. But apparently, right now they're asking who is Maria Corina Machado. She's the Nobel Peace Prize winning opposition leader of the opposition party. So they're looking at her. So there's a lot going on. So there's going to be a lot happening in Venezuela. We're going to see it's a change. One of the things that our pastor has said is Trump he was elected. Basically, he's in place to be a disruptor. Most people say, well, that's bad. Well, sometimes you need somebody to mess up the old guard, because the old guard was not going in the right direction. And sometimes people say, well, we thought the previous administration, no, they still rode on the old guard. They still rode on the H.W. Bush guard of this whole thing that he initiated. And here comes Trump. He's like, no, we're getting away from that guard. And what happened was, as a result, a lot of countries are sitting back going, yeah, you know what? We got people here that shouldn't be here. They're actually not assisting our country to move forward. This is Japan, their leader. She's
a conservative party too. So she's Japan got overran also with immigration. Mm-hmm. So she is trying to clean it up too. So in that of, I believe, not, I don't know, because I'm not from Japan. I haven't read too much articles, but I believe most Japanese nationalists are trying to get them out too. So
yeah, and it's that's the problem we have here. It's a lot going on.
One thing about the Venezuela with Biden admin, Biden basically, it's like one of those things. He tried to try to bring the Venezuelans here to escape what was going on there. So that was his logic. Let's bring them all over here then, because if they, let's bring them over here. And just like pretty much like turning a blind eye. Let's take them out of the situation, bring them here.
Right.
Trump was like, no, we're going to have to help them clean their mess up over there, so that way we don't have to bring them. That way they can go back home, because some Venezuelans want to go back home, but I'm assuming they probably said, look, this crazy. This man crazy over there. And so Trump had to say, okay, well, let's find a way where we can get these people back home. And so that's how it was. That's how they do it.
This is something a commentator listened to a while back. He was talking about this years ago. Usually people, and our next topic is based on the same scale. You have some people who want to turn here into there unintentionally.
Right.
And so they don't want to come in here and do their thing. But most of the Venezuelan people want to go back home. And people are like, well, why aren't they celebrating? Why aren't they protesting the president? Because they're like, you don't know how bad it is. There's a lot of them who flee there, and but they still love their country. They still want to go home. They like the benefits they have here. However, they feel that they want to go home and do better, and they want to create the environment like it is. They want to bring here to there without having, because Venezuela used to be like us. And one of the things I'm going to tell you is the president of the United States, you figure we are the Americas. If you got to realize that the Americas, including Canada, United States, Mexico, Central America, and South America, we are the Americas. And there's certain things we can't allow into the America continent. And these things are starting to take place through Venezuela. And it's like, no, we're not going to have that. And so he put a stop to it. It's no different than the Cuban Missile Crisis that happened. It got to the point, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing over here? Why is I think it was Russia. Why are you in our hemisphere trying to create problems? So the United States or the Americas has always been a target of other nations because they don't like the Americas. So they destroyed Venezuela. Venezuela was not like it is today. It's literally been destroyed. And in some areas. So the prosperity is gone. It used to be prosperous there. From my understanding, but we're going to do our homework on it, but we're going to move on to our next one, and that is the whole thing with the Somalis. The Somalis are asking we as Black Americans to step in. Can you come in and help us fight this? I remember I got the memo last year on social media. I got the memo from several, even some of my family members. The memo said, y'all can go ahead and fight. We're going to set these out. We're tired. And my cousin, he did one. He said, we just tired of fighting for everybody, but nobody's fighting for us. That's in the words of some of the people, not my cousin, but however, he was like, we just tired. Everybody kept saying, we're tired. So a lot of them are screaming, hey, can you help us out? They're attacking us. And we're up here going, well, let me help you out. So what they don't understand is we as Black Americans who have been here, generational Black Americans, we've been taught that when people come from other countries, I was raised this way. I heard my grandparents say it. When they come here, they get tax breaks, they get this, and this, and we have to struggle to get something. And I was like, for years, like, oh no, that's a myth. Because we live in an area which is a lot of immigrants in our area, and some of them are hardworking, and they built up their community base. But then the scandal broke, and it's like everything our grandparents, aunts, and uncles were saying, we're starting to see it. Now, the problem is, you guys from my, and I'm still doing my homework on this. You had a Leering Center. Now, one woman made a point. She made a point. We're not going to let two grown men come knocking on our door to see if the center is open. Now, she made a good point there, even though she was one of those people who was defending, thinking it's wrong for the people to be under attack. But she made a good point.
There's always security. Nobody gonna let you come in their thing unless you plan on having a child come up in there. You can't just walk into a child care center and talk about, let me see what's going on in there. No, that's anywhere. That's any child care center.
So I agree with her on that. But I guess he said, well, the lot was full. Was that full? Well, that's true, but it wasn't a car in there, which is fine.
But you're dropping children off. Parents are not staying there.
The employees.
So, but you don't need a lot of employees, depending on what you're talking about. It's a ratio. I used to work in a child care center, and it's a ratio that, yes, there is a ratio of how many you have to have. If you're talking about infants between 6 or 8 weeks, and then I believe 6 months. It's 1 to 3. So one worker for every 3 infants. Then you got your toddlers. So then for a certain spot, I think it's 1 to 5. So every 5 toddlers or so, there's 1 worker. Then after a certain age, I believe 6 and up, then that's where you can have a little bit more people. So, and then technically, how many of these workers really would have had vehicles, they could have got dropped off. Now, I'm not justifying what was going on there. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying, well, I'm not defending what is going on there. And we can only hypothesize until the actual investigation goes forward and a lot more is revealed. And so the thing that this Nick guy did, he just brought it to attention. Right. And he said, this is what has been happening here. But he could say that, but until the actual investigation to say what was actually going on, was this fraud? All we can do now is just go through the social and be finger trolls and say what we want to say. They're investigators. Right. And that's exactly what we do. And we only can have one side opinion. This young man, he looked like he needed to be in child care himself, but he's trying to say what was happening, whether they're throwing him under the bus or not, I don't know. But he tried his best to say what was going on.
Actually, according to some of the research that people are coming out, his mother was involved in a major fraud scandal, and they used that same address. It's a lot going on. They never said his last name, but somebody pulled up, well, here's his last name. And his mother was arrested and convicted of fraud.
One of the things, look, this stuff, I remember when I think Brett Favre, they were going after him for $500 million, something dealing with education too. Yeah. And it was in Minnesota. But right. But one of the things about Minnesota, It would have never been to light if it wasn't for Tim Walsh and Elian and Elian.
Ilhan.
So it wouldn't. You would never outside of what was going on with Brett Favre. They squashed everything else. They wanted to highlight Brett Favre, but however, that was we quieted down a lot. But years later, now that Tim Walsh tried to become VP with Kamala Harris, and then Elian was very vocal. Still is. That's the reason why it all came. This is what happened. People starting to go after what's going on.
And this scandal has been going on for a while. So
this COVID era.
It just came to light. It got overly abused during the COVID era.
Right.
And so this scandal has been around. The whistleblowers have been screaming about this. They said before Waltz got in office, the current AG, Attorney General, before they got in, the previous Attorney General was already investigating the situation because people were complaining that something's not right, monies were being dispersed, and they were investigating. And when Tim Walz became governor and the new AG came in, they just swept it under the rug. And so this scandal is not new. It's just that when you have a vocal politician representing your community, it brought a spotlight on like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then when you start attacking, one of the things you shouldn't do as an elected official, and I'm gonna put this out there, and Tim Walz is guilty of this, and Ilhan and several other elected officials, you should never ever attack the president. I don't care if it's a Democrat president or a Republican president. If you're an elected official and you're being so petty to attack the president, call him names, call him this, they called, but yeah, you don't think it, but this current president, Trump, one thing about him, you're going to call him names. This administration is already looking into you. They're already finding stuff on you to bring you down.
The thing is, what Trump is, y'all started this fight.
Right.
He's going to fight with you. Right. I'm not saying he's going to finish it, but he's going to fight with you. So if you're going to call him a name all this time, so he's going to call you a name. And then you're upset because you're saying, well, he's calling me idiots and stupid and all this stuff. And he's like, that's what Trump is. Look, to me, all this needs to be squashed, and let's all grown up and be adults here. That's what I'm saying. That's what we all grown. Now you may not like what we do and like what we say, but we are grown. So y'all need to grow up. People are watching, people are listening, people are seeing what's going on. Children. Let's think about the children, And
that's the number one thing that the people on the extreme left say.
Grow up.
About the children. No, well, if it's about the children, why don't you act like an adult? And stop calling names each other. Both sides are guilty of this. And in this situation here, you start a fight it's like you try to be a bully with a bigger bully.
Right.
You try to bully a bigger bully who can out-bully you. It's like, I can't win it. You can't, a bully fighting a bigger bully, the bigger bully is always going to win. Even though you think you can beat them.
One thing about, excuse me, honey, I'm going back in my mind here. Tim Walz just signed a state where he's giving 20 weeks family leave.
Oh, that's crazy.
20 weeks of family leave act. Yeah. Usually the most a company, now this is state. This has nothing to do with the company, but because it's a state law, companies have to adhere to it. Mm-hmm. So what companies were doing, if a woman got pregnant, they will pay for your time leave. So I don't know if it's now, but 6 weeks if you had a natural birth, 8 weeks if you had C-section. Then you come back to work. But most companies are only paying up to 60%. Some companies may pay 80% of your pay. Then you used to be able to get a rider, an extra rider if you need to. That way, if you want to take the rest of the time to get a full 100% pay. They cut that down when Biden was in office. It may come back, who knows? But anyway, but with Minnesota, with Walz, when he signed that, he's saying that the state of Minnesota is going to pay for 20 weeks of family leave for you to either take care of a child if it was for adoption. Now, this is only for families, for children, babies or having a baby and children. And so he's going to have 20 weeks. That is 5 months. 5 months.
And look.
And you're talking about your job, literally, how are you going to stay away from your job for 5 months? And that's yearly. So it's like, so if you used it and then I don't know if it's per child or per year, but however, that's kind of how it is. I know somebody, you said, why can't somebody I know somebody who had a baby in January of 1 year of the same, and then in December had another child in the same year. So that's how you can have a child. You have 2 children in 1 year. Yeah. So yeah. And right. So don't think that you're saying you're talking about 5 months off. And you can almost get another child. And have another 5 months off.
So you'll be off
the whole year and a half almost.
Yeah, that's there's some things government needs to think about, because employers really in these states are technically at will. Most states are at will states.
Here in Michigan, there is what we call, I can't think of the name of it, but you are guaranteed 40 hours of time off. Now, the company has to offer you the 40 hours. So let's say you had a doctor's appointment. So you can take a day off for the doctor's appointment. You can do 4 hours off. But it has to be, I think, in increments of 4 hours or 2 hours. I think it has to be increments of 2 hours. So they have to give you that time off, but you didn't have to necessarily Michigan time off, right? And so, but you didn't have to explain to you why you needed. Just say that you needed the Michigan, but you're not getting paid for it.
Oh, you're not?
No. Only time you get paid for it is if you had PTO in your company, so you use your PTO time from your company. But if you ran out of PTO, then you just don't get paid for the time off. But you can get the time off.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that. You wouldn't pay me to take that. Look, I'll just have to deal with it unless it's a dire emergency.
Right.
I'm not gonna. If it's a dire emergency and I don't get paid, that's the reason why I have a supplemental insurance program for income, which actually, when I had my fall, came in really nice. So there are programs for that. But anyway. But yeah, it's a lot going on. We're going to get to that. We're going to come back to that. We're going to go into her favorite topic. It's going to be short, I hope. The ACA changes. People are complaining that benefits are going up, and the Affordable Care Act.
The Unaffordable Care
is actually, I call it the UACA. Actually destroyed insurance. And most people go, "What do you mean?"
The Obamacare, not insurance.
It just took. We had in Michigan before Obamacare came, which is also a hybrid of Romney Care, by the way. Before it came, we had a county program, which was actually we had My Child for our daughter, because we didn't have insurance for a season, and the county was offering. Then I think Mike Duggan was part of that setup of that. We had a really good program that
you could about
insurance for a good price, right?
If you lived in a certain county, you were being able to buy insurance through the county,
right?
And then employees were also using that too.
Right.
Because I remember when I was working in a pharmacy or something. They used to people used to have the little county card. So I was like, okay.
It's affordable insurance,
right? You can pay a couple of dollars or a month, a premium.
Right. And so what the ACA changes, what Trump discovered, now I've been sort of following this, we were paying these insurance. Okay, here's how it worked. So you sign up for the marketplace insurance. Your real policy rate is, I'm just going to make up a wild number. Your real monthly policy is probably $700 a month. So you're paying, $700, or this is $1,000, make it easy. $1,000 a month. So your policy was $1,000 because you had everything, but you didn't pay zero. You paid zero, little or nothing for that. So you got $12,000 worth of insurance that was subsidized by the federal government, meaning we, the taxpayers, were paying your $12,000.
And technically, you were paying yourself too.
Right, and that's what I was about to go to. So it's circular. So if you had a job and you were getting maybe they said, well, you at least do $25 a month. Okay, fine, I can do $25 a month, but your policy was really $1,000 a month, so $975 of your policy was being paid for by the federal government. So what Trump said was, why are we paying them all this money when we can just turn around and give the people a card, basically a sort of a FSA, HSA, however they call it, card. And then if you don't spend the money, it'll just roll over to the next year. Now, that's a good idea. It is. I think we do need to have some kind of cap, because say you're 25 years old, you start out with, they say, okay, your premium for your age, you don't go to the doctor that much. So we'll figure out that maybe we'll put $5,000 a year on the card, but after 10 years, you have $50,000, because of course it would have to raise up.
I don't think they can't do a rollover on it.
He wanted to do it as a rollover.
I don't know if you can do it as a rollover.
That's what he wanted. He wanted it to be a rollover.
It could match whatever he's supposed to have, maybe, but I don't know, because way it works now. So ACA is a little bit different. So companies can go through the exchange, and use the exchange, which is the marketplace, to get insurance for their employees. So that's what companies are doing. That really all ACA, Obamacare is just in case something happens insurance, catastrophic insurance, because it's impossible for you to even pay off a $10,000 deductible, just so that way you can have a premium. I remember way back before this even happened, people were getting some cheap insurance just so they could save on their car insurance. And so again, if he was talking about a 25-year-old, if a 25-year-old gets insurance, and he gets the lowest premium available, which is maybe $100 a month or something like that. But however, they have a $15,000, $20,000 deductible.
Right.
So you have to pay that $20,000 deductible before the insurance even kicks in.
Yeah.
And so what ACA was supposed to have done too was supposed to eliminate the whole pre-existing condition,
which is what people wanted. That's what we wanted.
But you got to realize, are you still paying? You're still paying for that pre-existing condition, because if you have a $20,000 deductible, you're paying for that pre-existing condition.
Right.
So that's kind of one of the things is the only thing during that time is going to be free if you had to do your yearly health exam. That was the only thing that was free, your yearly health exam and yearly blood work. After that, you have anything after that. Yeah, anything after that, you have to pay out of your own pocket. So one of the things, so it's not the premium was the issue, because then they were subsidizing the premium. Okay, so not every state took the subsidy.
Correct.
Okay, so it's more the same insurance that goes to the marketplace. I know somebody who took it, who has it, and they paid almost zero to nothing, and little to nothing rather of their premium, because it was being subsidized because the state took the funding. Right. So that's how it was working. It's almost like going through the Medicaid program, but it's not necessarily considered Medicaid.
It's Medicaid for all, but
not necessarily not Medicaid. Right. So that's how that was working.
Yeah, I just honestly think that people, we have a lot of people. We got people trying to live off the government. No offense. I mean, you know what I mean? Some people need it. I was a guardian for my sister. She couldn't work. And these programs really were great because we didn't have to worry about paying a lot of her bill, medical, and all that. However, there's people who are sitting on some of these programs, getting them, who don't.
Well, that's what we talk about with Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know, people, yeah.
I think employer, if you are a business owner and and that was nothing that was happening under the beginning of the ACA. Business owners were throwing their employees on the exchange. And I don't think that's right. That's just me.
Right, because it stops the employer to get benefits. So they were putting them on exchange because they had, employers had to offer some type of insurance. Right. So they either offer them the exchange or they offer them. There are some restaurants or some places that they had on a line item on your receipt, like $20 in order to help with paying for your server's insurance.
Right. It's called a service fee.
So
it's still there, but they call it a service fee.
They were actually doing it and said, "Wait, what is this? Oh, this is for insurance. We take it off." But they would say, "Oh, we'll take it off." But if you don't question it and you're paying it, they're using that. It's not that they're giving it to the server; they're keeping it for themselves in order for them to pay their premium.
Right.
They're paying, so because way I don't know if it's all the way, but usually it's the employer pays half and then the employee pays the other half.
Servers only make half. In some places, servers don't make minimum wage. They make less than minimum wage.
Right.
It's tips. They live off of tips.
Right. And they weren't paying. During these times, these restaurants weren't paying for health insurance. And so when Obamacare came along, it comes along, they had to offer something. So we used to get a letter in the mail. We haven't seen that in a while.
You used to get a letter in the mail. First term, he got rid of that.
Yeah, mandate. You used to get a letter in the mail. It tells you about the Obamacare, how that insurance works. I'm like, well, what am I getting this for? Yeah. Even I think our pastor, he was looking into getting to the exchange. He was like, "This is crap."
But he stayed private with the ministry.
Yeah,
that's another thing for people
you still can do private insurance too, though.
Yeah,
you don't have to be on exchange.
People are going back to even on that. Even ministries, a lot of ministries or large ministries, some people don't like. Guess what? A lot of them have health insurance on their staff, and some ministries pay all of it. Where the staff person have to pay a dime out of their paycheck. And some people complain about why they ask for money, because they got to make sure that their employees have insurance, make sure they're paid. And so, that's why they ask. But one of the best things that came out of the ACA, some people may say it was good, some was bad, was electronic medical records. Yes. That's probably one of the best things.
Yeah, everything had to be electronic.
Until CrowdStrike knocked out all the computers, but still last year. However, that's probably one of the best things. So we now have access on our devices to see our medical history. And so it's easier now if you're out of town. They can pull your medical history pretty quick. So
and Cobra is a crap. Yeah. Cobra insurance.
We don't get me started on that.
If you lose your job or you leave your job or something happens with the job, you get a Cobra. Cobra is like almost 3 times your normal premium a month. So if you were paying $300 every 2 weeks, and it'll be $600. You'd be $1,800 to $2,000. This costs. You tell me one person. I don't even know anybody ever took Cobra insurance.
I don't know anybody. If you didn't take it, I have a lot of questions for you. If you took Cobra,
how did you pay for it if you lost your job or you don't have a job anymore?
We have questions because with the ACA changes, when we didn't have insurance, we paid out of pocket. And it was interesting when we didn't have insurance. Our medical visits, office visits, was like what, $50?
Right. The doctor was giving us it for like either $50 or $75 for the office visit.
And so
I found a private hospital that were giving blood work for everything. It would be $10 per line item. So if you had to get your TSH, your PSA, or whatever, anything, A1C, cholesterol, it was $10 per line item. So that's how much they were giving. You had to pay for if you didn't have health insurance.
Yeah. So there's so people screaming. So we have it here in our area and near us. They were on the news, and they said they deal with a lot of cash patients. It's an urgent care. The thing is, the ACA is really designed to keep you out of going into the ER, chronic visits. Go to urgent care. And some of the urgent cares are charging for office costs $30, $40, $50 with no insurance. So there are things. We've been on the no insurance racket before it became mandatory to now where it's back to somewhat optional. So however, at our stage of life, we need insurance. We're not we can't skip it. So as our as seasoned citizens, there's some things we've learned in our life. But a lot of things are changing. So this is going to be a very interesting year. Now, by the way, this is a midterm year. So you're going to see a lot of crazy stuff politically happen as this midterm year goes. But anyway, we are going to have some fun. We can really have some fun here. Music and merch. Thank you. Music and merch. We're getting off the off that. But anyway, keep it. There's nothing wrong with talking about politics. We are a program.
We talk about everything. Religion, politics, family, fun. We talk about a lot of things here, and so we just like to mix it up a little bit. Why do we call it Garrison House Podcast? This is conversations you normally have with your family in your house, if these walls can talk. So that's kind of why we call it the Garrison House Podcast.
And
so this Garrison House,
literally,
right? We studio and things like that. So we would appreciate. But let's talk about music and merch. What we got here, baby?
Been seeing here, I've been drinking out of our newest merch that's coming soon. We're getting ready to open our merch store.
Yes,
this is our new cup, Faith Over Fear.
Faith Over
Unshakable
Fear.
Light. And
yes,
we have.
It's part of our title song, and it has right here. Oh, right here it says Hebrews 11. It says Hebrews 11. Faith Over Fear. Yeah. It's an album and a title song.
Yeah. And so we have our 7 days a week collection.
This is an 11 ounce.
Yeah, this is the
very nice ceramic mug.
Yeah,
yes.
I've been drinking out of it. I made a mistake yesterday when it came in. It was like 7 o'clock, and it's a smaller mug. And I decided to have me some coffee. I was up probably to about 2 o'clock because I usually drink out of a 12-ounce mug, and I didn't think an ounce more coffee, less of coffee is going to make me
2 ounces less.
2 ounces less is going to make me that wired. But we have a 7 days a week, right? Well, what is the 7 days a week thing? Well, we have this is the store. We're going to give you the domain later because it's not open. Well, actually, you can see it up there, but that's fine.
Yes, we can.
And this is the. It's in demo mode right now, but this is the 7 day a week collection. So we got 7 days a week, and on the other side we have Trust the Process. These are the prices, and one of the things about our store is it's here to help us grow our. We really want to grow our platforms, and here's the same Unshakable Light, and I think this is the 7 day a week collection as well. So this is the larger mugs. We do have a bigger one that's in the queue. But basically, there's two ways you're supporting. We have a movie we're working on. We're trying to go. We're not trying. We are going to go in production with our 9 Gifts movie. As you can see behind me over there is the 9 Gifts CD. We've already done that. You can see we have the When Roots Returns. I'm gonna go here and pull up some of the work we've done, and basically, this is helping us to basically get our music out, our movies and everything together. So that's the 9 Gifts that we're working on. Now you can listen to that music. That's actually our first release. This is the 9 Gift demo compilation. I've learned a lot from that release, and it was like you don't have to release 23 songs. And on January 1st, we started our 3 album anthology started, which is Over Her Shoulder When Roots Returns. That's our, we put that up. Oops, I hit the wrong button here. That's our that's the beginning of our anthology of music that we have. And it's a great, how we're doing it. It's really nice. And then we have our next album here, which When the Wind Changes came out. That came out late last year, When the Wind Changes. That is part of our, that was our second release. And then we did a whole program. So yeah, that was our second release, When the Wind Changes. And then, of course, you can get all that music is available on Spotify. It's available everywhere. And so how do you find it? Well, what you do is you go to Raindrops on Roses Music. So when you search, go to Raindrops on Roses Music, and you can find all our music there. You'll find it on Spotify, Amazon, everywhere. So we have some great projects that have come out. But the merch is really what I want to talk about here. I mean, the merch store, like I said, we're getting ready to open it, and it's more than just, it's not just our merch. We have now some of the stuff opening. This is in demo, so when it opens, we're not going to have all this there, at least not immediately, but it will be. This is stuff that will be coming, hopefully prayerfully, depending on how you all support us. It can come by summer. We have Cashmere TV has its own product line, which is some of it is shared between us. And then we have the Faith Over Fear blanket that's coming. So the prices are good. It supports us. Then her stores there, I'm not going to show it. She has a lingerie store that she was doing pop-ups with. And so you'll be able to go in there. Just give us by the time you see this on RTN, the store should be open. We'll have more. So go to GarrisonHousePodcast.com and you'll see the link to go to shop.GarrisonHousePodcast.com. It'll take you right to our merch store, and you can support us. And, this is another way of supporting us. And you can see the future merchandise that's coming to our thing, the 20-ounce jumbo mug. That's the one I'll have that here soon. I already ordered mine. So this is the 20-ounce one. And I can't wait to get that one. But anyway, that's sort of what's going on with us. So let's listen to, I think I want you all to hear some of the music. Let's see. We're going to pull something from our latest one, When Roots Returns. We didn't do the Cleanse Me From All Sin. That's kind of a prayer song. Do you want to do that one? Oh, it's kind of deep. I'm going to tell you which ones to listen to when you're on there. Going over there and do track 7, Cleanse Me From All Sin, Faith Over Fear. That's a really, really powerful song. I'm going to do Faith Rising. It gets better than this. And let you hear this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Ville. Distant shadows on your chest, questions in your heartbeat where your hope has been pressed. But even in the shaking, this whisper still exists. Hold on, my child, it gets better than this. Storm wind swirling, but it's truth on penny rights. Resurrection where you thought it wouldn't. When Jericho wall shot lights through the mist, he re-strengthen your spirit. Keep going. Let a fear try to rise. When the night feels thick, but fear is the enemy of faith. Don't let it stick. The cross still stands. His promises fixed when God sent his son Jesus. Hard to believe, wondering if God still has something up his sleeve. But the God who parts water still moves when we're weak, is closer than breath, and his mercy still speaks. Every burden you carry, every scar on your wrist turns ashes to beauty. Yes, it gets better than this. He's rewriting your story chapter by chapter, and joy comes running faster because Jesus is the answer. Fear is the enemy, faith is the flame. So I'm lighting up the darkness in the power of his name. Walls fall like Jericho, watch them collapse. One shot of faith and the chains detach. Heaven wrote victory sealed with a kiss. God sent his son Jesus, so your life gets better than this. Stand up, breathe deep. Let the spirit assist. You were made to overcome. Faith rising in the midst.
All right.
One thing about going into 2026, you got to go into victory. You got to walk into victory. You can no longer bring back what's back in the old of 2025. Going into 2026, you already achieved your victory. Now you're just reaping the spoils. So that's one of the things about going into 2026. That's what you got to keep your mindset is. Yes, we can have resolutions. Yes, we can have our vision boards, but still understanding that manifestation has already been done. It's already been granted. This is the year of victory and turnaround. So you've got to remember, 2026, we are going into victory. We already established in victory. Amen.
I thought she was about to preach right there for a moment. I mean, I thought she was going to start preaching. That's the wrong graphic. But anyway, I thought she was going to start preaching. But yeah, it's one of the things about the When Roots Return, the beginning of the anthology is a trilogy of albums. So we said, well, I don't like rap. Well, I mean,
excuse me.
The rap is fine. I mean, I'm not really a rap. People say, oh, you listen to rap. No.
That's not technically rap.
Not rap, that's faith. One of the things is gospel, is exhortation. Yeah. And one thing about this anthology, now she knows what's on the final. She's heard, actually we released, what song did we release on the, we did release one of the songs from the single. Yeah, excuse our meowie here. He wants some attention. See if we can bring it up. So this one's already been released.
Came rushing in like the sunrise breaking through. Now I'm standing in your freedom, every promise shining true. By the blood that speaks redemption, I am lifted, I am whole. Nothing missing, nothing broken. You revived my very soul. So take my heart into my mind. Let my life reflect your way. I'm alive with holy purpose, and I'm stepping in today.
All right.
Unshakable light. This is part where the mug came from.
All right.
Faith over fear. Unshakable light. Faith over fear.
Yeah,
we got to have more faith. Sometimes it's harder. Fear always stops us. It's not necessarily also not necessarily meaning fear, but our minds, our thoughts always stop us from achieving what we need to go and do. Sometimes it's not afraid to. It's not as fear afraid to step out. You're not sure. Should I step out? You got to understand faith. That is faith. Not knowing the outcome as ahead, but if you step out, God will lead you through that valley to get to you ahead.
Yeah, and you know, it's a problem. This is a year you got to get your faith over fear. We've been living in fear because of the political landscape. Nobody's speaking on faith. So it's like to get victory, you need to take faith and accelerate it over the fear that you carry in your life. So these are very powerful projects that we have. And, but one of the things I also want to go into real quick is people are always saying, oh, it's a new year, new me. And I'm going to do this year. I'm going to do that. But what have you set? Have you set goals? Resolutions are breakable. A resolution to me has never been something that is set. I've always set New Year goals. How did I do my goals? I have my ultimate goal. There's some things that I want to get this year. I say, okay, well, one of my goals has been I want to walk. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but we got our co-star. Where is he at? Our co-star is trying to be on the show behind us, and I think he's discovered the tree. But anyway, so my goals are always set where I want to be. Like I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to run again. So I knew this goal was not going to be a 1 year goal. I knew this was going to be a progressive goal, and I'm getting there. But then there's some things I want to do financially. So what do I need to do financially? Well, you got to budget things. You got to figure out, split things out, change things around. And that's one of the things that I had to learn to do. And what about you? Because I'm about to take care of our little...
The goals I'm talking about, you're right. Goals is where we would...
Sorry about that.
My goal is to, as I say, dropping down that BMI to where I needed to be. I'm already walking in my victory. I'm already seeing it. I'm already saying I am going on vacation this year. I'm already seeing myself on vacations. I'm already seeing myself debt-free living. I'm already seeing myself in my new home, my new car, if that's what I wanted this year. I'm already seeing it. It's already going to be done. Victory is already ours. And so the goals are a little bit different because you're saying that this is what I'm going to try to achieve.
Right.
So it's not necessarily I wanted to achieve a new me, which is now Apostle is talking about a better me. That's a goal that you can achieve. Right. Weight loss is a goal that you can achieve, but what is it but stuff that you tangibly saying with the vision board is a little bit different because you're talking about, I'm putting my house on a vision board, I'm putting my husband on a vision board. That's something that's already established in your mind. Right. As manifestation, and it's already been established, and we're going into this year, 2026, it's already been done. It's already been said. So it's different when you talk about goals. It's something that you want to achieve as opposed to something that's already tangibly that you've seen your faith to believe.
Well, one of my goals I'm happy that I'm achieving is paying my car off sooner.
Yes, get rid of my lease.
The reason people say, why you want? I can get lower car insurance and save money in the long run. That helps us make to our ultimate goal. I have things I want to look into getting, but 2026 is here. It's a year that our ministry, we're at Great Faith. 30 years ago, the water started and it's back. And so we're looking for great things this year. And like I say, it's our pastor has been speaking on a better me. Everything he's done for the past couple of years has been tied into the theme. We have prayer and manifestation. We were in prayer for 8 months?
April to December.
Yeah.
And almost in January. It's almost been
and that's 9. Miss it now.
No, it's almost been 8 months.
Yeah.
It would have been 8 months in January 7th.
And we ministered once a week, or sometimes, near the end we were like maybe twice a month, but we were ministering on the prayer Zoom, and it changed us. Where you think a lot of this stuff, creativity came from, it came from that prayer. Being in the prayer guard, the prayer manifestation, but it all started there. So go ahead and start your prayer journey in 26.
Yes.
And don't stop. Keep it going.
Yes.
But anyway, we are out of time. Thank you for watching. I'm Darnell.
I'm Angela.
And this has been
Garrison House.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody say it now. Yeah. Yes, sir, we dribble. Yeah. Yes, good, yeah. Let's go. We stand on the word and shake it secure. Yeah. What he has spoken is settled and sure. We don't check the odds, we don't have